Test on one day. India, England, Australia. Waadaplaya.
Welcome back, everybody, to Waadaplaya Concussion Sub Series. Everybody's excited, and IPL fever is starting up. And as a part of our group, we are going to do a couple of things ahead of IPL to help you guys build up the extra excitement. One is a team by team review, which is there on our YouTube channel. You guys can spend 10 minutes in understanding what each team squads are looking like and our resident expert predictions. The second thing which we want to bring to you today is, along with IPL, there is also an excitement of Fantasy League, which is IPL Fantasy League. All of you can be a selector, all of you can be a captain, you all have an opinion about which player to pick, which player to drop, which player plays well. So how do we do all this, and what is IPL Fantasy League? So in this video, you will get to know everything about how to play, how to win, what point system works, and today we bring in two resident experts who are very, very good at winning the IPL Fantasy League in our Waadaplaya League. Syed and Vishak, welcome guys.
Hi, Subhan.
Are you guys excited, or what's the feeling like IPL, or are you guys worried about all the COVID cases?
Actually, this IPL thing is actually making us forget, and it is getting us pumped up because staying at home, we have nothing to do. We don't have anywhere to go. So this IPL is keeping us occupied and keeping us excited, and not allowing us to go into the depression of staying at home.
And what about players testing positive? I think that is expected, isn't it? There will be certain percentage of people, unfortunately, going through, but 4 days away, it looks like no point in return. So, positively speaking, I think Hyderabad come in as a backup side for Mumbai. So, things should look positive. So, Syed, are you excited for IPL?
Very much excited, Suman. So counting days, literally, so every day I send out pictures of days left and what all to look forward and things like that. Yes, like you said, COVID is around, but we have done this before. We've done it in 2020, and I think we have been following straight bubbles from a cricket standpoint. So hopefully it should all settle down. Like you mentioned, Hyderabad and Indo has been identified as a backup location, and very much excited.
Okay. All right. So Vishak and Syed, guys. So today, by the end of the episode, I need some tips from you guys as to how to win the Waadaplaya League, because past 2-3 years I've been playing. My point systems were like 79,824 or 1,55,000. But you guys have seen the top 10, top 20 versions of it. So let's get started. What is IPL Fantasy League? Talk to me about what exactly is this and how do I create a team?
So, Suman, it's basically something like we had something like a super selector, which was started by ESPN, where you virtually can select. You can be a selector yourself, where you can select a team for this tournament within a specified credit limit, which is given by the site. So this is actually sponsored by DREAM11, and it is actually integrated into the IPL site. So this gives a chance for everybody who is a cricket enthusiast to select their own team, be a selector, and play a virtual game. So for each player selected, and based on the player how they perform, we get certain points. So we'll go into that later, like how this point system. So basically, you can be a virtual selector yourself, and you can select your own teams. That is all this IPL Fantasy League is about.
What do I need to do? Do I need to go into a site, or how do I create a team?
So you need to go into fantasypremierleague.com, right? It's a very simple way where you need to have an email ID, or if you have a Facebook account or a Gmail account, probably you can use that to create a team, get into a login ID, and simply create a team. So basically, you have 100 credits given. So this is not a one-day game where you just play for a day and leave it. So basically, this is a throughout the tournament for overall of 60 days or whatever days we have for IPL. So you create team for every match, and there's something called as transfers, where we have been given transfers to make changes to your team on a daily basis. And for a league stage, you get 110 transfers. and after that you get 10 transfers for the knockout stages, right from the qualifier till the finals.
And what is the transfer? For example, today first game is Mumbai Indian and RCB. So the second game, will I be able to change the players using those transfers?
So basically, Suman, it is like you for the first game of any tournament, right? Before the first game of the tournament, you can make as many changes as possible, and you don't the transfers don't count. So when the first game starts, it means that your game has actually started and your team gets locked at that point of time. And then any changes you make to your teams, a transfer will be deducted, and that change, whatever you make after the match starts, will be counted for the next match. So in between, if you make a transfer, that would actually not count for the particular match, and it would go for the next match. So one pro tip here, like when you're making changes for a match, wait for the toss and then make the changes, because this is a long tournament. There will be a lot of changes to the playing 11. So may wait for the toss, see the playing 11, and then see how many transfers, who are your best players you think of can perform, and then make the transfers on the match day.
That's a good tip. And Syed, can I pick all the batsmen in playing 11?
No, so there is a combination which you have to follow. Like there is a certain number of batsmen you need. There's a certain number of wicket keepers. So probably we can actually create a team with a more than one wicket keeper. But there is a limit up to 4 wicket keepers. And there is also a limit for an all-rounder. Minimum of one all-rounder is required. And also there is a limit for a bowler. You at least need a 3 bowler, and you can go up to 6 bowler. So this combination has to be met for any team to be created. Along with that, you also have a quota of 4 foreigners per team, which means like how we have our IPL teams 11s. You have to have, or you can have, you not necessarily have to have 4, but you can only have a maximum of 4. You can't exceed to that 4 foreign players. Apart from this, there's other catch there where you can select a uncapped player for every match, which is a free transfer. So uncapped player meaning the player has not played or represented India in any of the T20, ODI or a test match. So that player, for example, let's say Devdutt Padikkal is an uncapped player. So this player, when you take in your team for a particular match, that transfer will be 0. You don't have to count that transfer. That transfer comes as a free. So this is something which the managers of the team can make sure they do it every match and benefit out of it. And apart from that, there is also one thing. Each team should have a captain and a vice captain. So captain, which means let's say you don't have to specifically select the captain of the particular team, like for example Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli. But if you think this captain will give you double points, so if a captain scores 100 points, if you keep it as captain, he gives you 200. Likewise, a vice captain will give you 1.5 times of the points he has scored.
This is a real deal. I thought I'll pick all 11 batsmen and go away, but seems like you need to have all-rounders, you need to have wicket keepers, you need to have uncapped players, and have a proper team combination. So all of us probably are good at commenting Facebook, Twitter statuses. So this will help us make real selections. Is that where this fantasy game is driving towards?
Absolutely. So it will help us to see how the team combination works. And it's not about you select 11 players from each team and all. You need to maintain this throughout the tournament. So you have to use your transfers wisely. So if you select 11 players per match, every time you exhaust your transfers within 11 or 12 matches. So you need to be very wise there. See how many players you can play per match. Use the uncapped quota wisely. So basically with the uncapped quota, you get like 110 plus 55 transfers, which is free for you. So you get 165 transfers in the league stage and 10 plus 4 in the playoff stage. So that's where we play. The selectors have to be wise. The virtual selectors have to be wise and select their teams.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of it. So you also have to look at the tournament schedule too, which team is playing, so that you make the changes, as opposed to during the week, if I'm busy and I didn't make any changes, players will be sitting in my quota, but no points will count. I think that's what will start building up the league. Uncapped players. Define uncapped players. So Mumbai Indians don't have any uncapped players. So am I at a disadvantage there?
So for uncapped players, it's for a particular match. It's not per team. Suppose Mumbai and RCB are playing the first match. the uncapped player you can choose from either one of the teams. It's not like you're choosing per team. It's for that particular match you're choosing an uncapped player. So if Mumbai Indians does not have an uncapped player, you can go for the opposition and choose the uncapped player. So in RCB there is Devdutt Padikkal. So you can choose Devdutt Padikkal as the uncapped player and still have that uncapped quota satisfied.
This is all exciting. Understood. I now know how to create a team. I now know what is the combination. How does the point system work? And how do I win points? And what are bonus points?
Point system is basically as to what the player you have chosen has done. So irrespective of batting, he scores a run, you get a point. If he scores a boundary, you get a point, right? And accordingly, if he's a bowler, he takes a wicket, you get a point. And if he's doing a good economy rate, then you'll definitely get a point as well. Even for fielding and keeping. So anything the player does to impact for his team or scores something or takes a catch, you will definitely get a point out of it, provided the player is in your team for you, right? So that is pretty much simple in terms of what you can see the screen there, what you can what the player would get. I would like to touch upon the bonus point category, right? So last year we had pretty much the same bonus points, like half century a player scores or a century somebody scores, or somebody takes a 5 wicket or a maiden over, they get a bonus point. So this year we have 3 new bonus point category which has been introduced. One for batsman, a bowler, and a fielding person, right? For a batsman, if a batsman scores 30 runs plus, he will get a 4-point bonus. For a bowler, it's an interesting one. If a bowler takes a wicket of a bowled or a LBW, he will get 8 points for that particular wicket. So imagine, this is going to be a game changer. Imagine a bowler like Bumrah or Rashid Khan or Bhuvneshwar Kumar. These are guys who keenly take wickets of bowled or LBW. So you'll have to be very wise to take those players, and definitely it will be an added bonus for you. Even in the fielding side, if a fielder takes 3 catches, he will get a bonus of 4 points. So these are the additional bonuses which has been introduced this year, which will be very exciting for you to select players accordingly and take those bonus points.
Excellent.
And just to add up on what Syed said. So for your wickets like caught or something, you usually get 25 points for the bowler and 8 points for the catcher. So you get a collective of 33 points. So now with bowled and all, you used to get bowled or LBW, you used to get only 25 points. So now this is a thing which has been carried over from DREAM11, where they are giving those additional 8 points for LBW and bowled to the bowler currently, because the bowler himself is taking that wicket. So the bowler will get the collective 33 points in this case.
Okay. And this is exciting. This is as good as becoming Brendan McCullum and Abhishek Nair. We all make fun of them making notes, but looks like they make notes for a reason, isn't it?
Absolutely. They want to see how the players perform and how they can improve the players' performance. It's all for a reason. And even now with this fantasy league, we also need to make notes of players' performance, how much they are scoring. We need to look at the past performances, how the pitches were. Like, there are a lot of things to look at. It's not just blindly about making a team and trying to get away with it.
Yeah, knowing the mechanics of the game is what it's pretty good. It'll keep you engaged throughout the tournament as opposed to just following the game on cricket. Okay, so boosting chances with these new features compared to last year. So what are these new features?
So boosters are very interesting this year. Last year, for those who have played, you'd have known this boost up of double up, where you have a game. When you select this boost up, you get double the points of how much is the total points you have scored. So that is a known bonus booster like last year. But two interesting, one is a triple impact, where every match you have a captain and a vice captain in your team. Apart from that, for a one selective match, whichever you select, you can use a triple effect bonus, which is basically like, let's say for an example, you have ABD, Virat Kohli and Maxwell playing a game. You have ABD and Virat as a captain and vice captain. You can select Maxwell as a triple impact, where even the point he has scored, it will be triple the point added to your kitty. So that's going to be like a triple impact, where you have captain, vice captain, and an additional bonus player who is going to get 3 times the point which is scored. So that's a very, very interesting one. For high scoring games, you can definitely use that. And the third one is all transfer. So this is something which has been introduced. It is used to be seen in the football fantasy leagues, where in midway of the tournament you have a team which you have, and the next match is coming up where you don't have any players in your team. So basically you think that you might have to make 5-6 changes, which is going to be a big deal, right? During the business end of the tournament. So what you can also do is you can completely scratch this team and bring in a new team. So when you select this bonus, you bring in a new team, you select a new team which will suit for the next matches and carry forward with the same team. So one disclaimer there, that all these 3 bonus can be used only once throughout the tournament. So whoever is playing the game, be very wise in terms of choosing when you want to do it.
Got it. I was excited that every match I'm going to choose this triple booster because I think that will help me propel. I was thinking, for example, if David Warner scores a century, if I use booster, it will be 300 points, simply put. Is that the benefit?
If he is not your captain or vice captain, and if you are selecting him as the third impact player, he will give you that triple impact.
So it doesn't have to be captain or vice captain, non-captain player, and you can choose booster. And booster can be used only once across all 60 games.
Yes, exactly.
There
are a couple of new things which are introduced. So previously, during the last season, right, for a particular match day, if there are a double header, you could make changes only once. So you need to make changes for both the matches together before the start of the first match and lock your teams. Now that has been changed and you can make changes for every match. So if there is a double header on a weekend, you can make changes for both the matches. So that is a very major change. You can make teams for every match. Yeah, there are some things like new badges introduced for in the IPL. This is something which has come from 2 years back. Based on your performances in the IPL, you get some new in the fantasy. You get new badges. Suppose when you select your first team, you get something like a rookie bonus, and when you join a couple of leagues, you get a league master or something like that. So you have multiple leagues. As when you reach 1,000 points, you get some bonus for that. So there are some badges for it. So there are multiple badges which are introduced. So that is something exciting.
Yeah, it is very exciting. So it is great, guys. I think both of you have covered enough information for me to get started. I now know how to create a team. I now know what is the combination aspect of it, transfers, how they work, the boosters and the uncapped players, badges. So exciting, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Hopefully, I'm going to win this year's Waadaplaya Fantasy League. I'm sure I'm going to beat both of you because I think you both gave me enough tips. Anything else coming up on our channel?
So a couple of things which I wanted to add. There are something called leagues as well in Waadaplaya in this fantasy league. So when you create a team, you are asked to select your favorite team, and by default you join that team's league. Suppose your favorite team is Sunrisers, for it.
So you my favorite team.
Yeah, Sunrisers, and you join the Sunrisers league automatically. And then you also have an option to create your own leagues or join others' leagues. If somebody can create a league and give you that code, you can join that league. So there are multiple options. You can join multiple leagues, and for these 2 leagues, right, which I said, there's a common league for all the players and the franchise league. You have some pretty good goodies if you reach at the top. So that is something which is pretty exciting as well.
One tip I want to give is guys who are playing for the first time or a seasoned player, this is not a 100-meter race like how you play your DREAM11 daily challenge, right? This is a marathon. So there will be days where your players may not score points to you. You might be low, back-to-back slow scores, but don't lose hope. Play the game, think logically, and definitely if you play this game every day till the finals, definitely you can improve on it.
So back the players.
And one more thing, even if you miss out on making a team, on one day, don't lose hope. It's a long tournament. You can still make it. You still have your transfers left. You just have to use it wisely. And to add to one more point, we have one of our experts, Akash, who had reached number 4 in one of the fantasy leagues a couple of years ago. And he will be taking us through every match, a 10-minute clip on how to make a team. You can definitely follow those and get some tips and make a match-winning team. And remember, when he won that league, when he became the number 4, he had missed out to make teams for 2 matches, and he still came up number 4. So that is a thing. It's you should not lose hope. You just have to be clever and make your teams.
So, for example, Ajay PK is number 1 in the league after 10 matches. Can I just look at his team and mirror and pick the same players? Can I do that?
No. So basically, the setup is such that until the match starts, you can't see anyone's team.
Oh.
So basically, it's hidden from you. So 7:30 the match starts. Only after the first ball is bowled, you can see what the team is made by your fellow team members in the same league.
Okay.
So that's one catch there. So you'll have to use your own logic or analysis of the player or the game or the pitch, like things like that. Definitely, you should look into our YouTube channel where Akash and few others will be giving tips as to what to look forward on those matches, who are the rookie players, who are the star players, and those things will definitely help you.
Thanks for all the knowledge about IPL Fantasy, guys. Vishak and Syed. Appreciate you guys taking time. Very, very excited. 4 more days to go for the games to begin, both IPL Fantasy and IPL Real League. For folks who are watching, thanks for continuing to support us. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Drop us a comment on YouTube. Click subscribe and tell us what else you would like to see, or tell us how we are doing and what we can improve on. Until next time, thanks very much and enjoy IPL. Thanks, Vishak and Syed.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Suman.
Suman.
Syed.
Thanks.